What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, DA. All right, everybody. What is Zack Snyder doing, y'all? What do y'all think Zack Snyder is doing? Ever since this dude opened up an Instagram account, all he can do is post pictures from his Justice League movies and his DC movies. And it's starting to make everybody think, hey, is Zack hinting at something? All right. Like the Direct asked that same question, all right? Zack Snyder fuels SnyderVerse return hopes with 7 never-before-seen Justice League photos. Zack Snyder is building the hype train for his Justice League amid Warner Brothers sales reports. So Zack knows what's going on, all right? Zack's not new to the game. He's not an idiot. He knows that Warner Brothers is currently up for sale, and he knows that his homies over there at Netflix are throwing their hat into the ring to try to buy this thing, okay? He already knows this. Netflix exploring Warner Brothers' bid, and they tapped an investment bank that handled the Paramount Skydance merger. So that means that Netflix is dead serious about picking up Warner Brothers. And it seems like for the last couple of weeks, Zack has just been lacing us up with all of these photos, okay? You guys remember some of the pictures that Zack Snyder posted up? First of all, it was that Henry Cavill Superman. In my opinion, second best Superman behind Christopher Reeves. All right. It's not even close. This guy should absolutely still be playing Superman, in my opinion. Although I do not hate David Cornsweet. Let me get that out the way. I think David Cornsweet is a great Superman. But I think Henry Cavill and his portrayal was just spot on. It was right on the money. He looks like he walked right off the pages of a comic. And so, yeah, this guy right here should still be playing Superman, in my opinion. And then he gave us this joint, man. Like, this picture of Deathstroke is fire.
He ain't lying.
Holy smokes, man. We really missed out. Okay. We really missed out, man. I really wanted to see that Batman versus Deathstroke. I really wanted to see this, you know. So, yeah, man, he's teased us with this. Then he came back with Ben Affleck, first time in the suit. It's like, geez, hey, Zack, man, look, you gotta give it to Zack Snyder, man. He kind of nailed the tone that we all were going for. Maybe the writing sometimes was a bit wonky, but the tone and the look, nailed it. All right, absolutely nailed it, man, down to the floor. This Batman is like, and then he kicks ass in Batman versus Superman. Absolutely kicks ass. So, yeah, man, we wanted to see more of that right there. One of his favorite Batman photos. All right. So we showed that one with him in, what was that? The Nightmare suit. Yeah. The hero's Nightmare suit. Then a closer look at Nightmare Batman. He posted this one up. And it's like, this is the type of shit you wanted to see out of that Justice League that he was working towards. It's like, okay, we're going to build something, and then we're going to get to Justice League Part 2, and then we're going to see what happens when Darkseid shows up and everything. And it was like, come on, y'all. This was going to be fire, man. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people wasn't really checking for it, but I felt like this was going to be absolute fire. Okay, this was going to be dope, man. Then we got the film strip of Superman. I saw that. He said it was Henry in his natural setting. It's like, is he trying to tell us something? It's like, man, this is Henry Cavill as Superman. Man, perfect Superman, all right? And then finally, we get the special look at Jared Leto's Joker, you know, from the Nightmare situation, you know, wearing the long hair with the SWAT and the gun and everything. And it was like, okay, I mean, it would have been an interesting twist just to see where all of that was leading and how all of that was about to go down. That is what everybody, when they're talking about the SnyderVerse continuing, we're really just talking about Justice League Part 2. We're really just saying, okay, Zack Snyder's Justice League, how was he going to finish this off? Where was he going with this? What was going to happen with Darkseid in the whole picture? All right, how is that all going to come together? That's what everybody wanted to see. And yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to get it, man. Look, Netflix, man, y'all might have some problems on y'all hands if y'all end up buying Warner Brothers. Because you're going to talk about every Snyder bro from pillar to post is going to be coming down saying, yo, we got to get this done. We got to get this done. Just looking at these pictures gets me hype. And again, I'm not a Snyder bro, but I did like Zack Snyder's trilogy. I like Man of Steel. I like BVS, The Ultimate Cut. I like that one. It's pretty solid. And then I like Zack Snyder's Justice League. All right. Those three together, solid filmmaking. I enjoyed Zack Snyder's visual aesthetic. I think he really nails the visual aesthetic of DC. You know, completely different from Marvel, yet still feels baked down into DC lore, superhero lore. I love it. So, yeah, I would have loved to see that continue. Everything else in the SnyderVerse, whatever, DCEU, all of that shit could go. You know, they talking about this somewhere down here. Yeah, it says here, Zack Snyder's new SnyderVerse BTS photos could hit at something bigger. While Zack Snyder made it clear that he is simply posting these behind-the-scenes photos as a way of celebrating the launch of his Instagram account, there could be a deeper meaning behind the efforts online, and the timing aligns with Warner Brothers being looked at for purchase by companies like Netflix, all right, which serves as the home of Snyder's Rebel Moon and Army of the Dead movies, all right. Snyder's latest actions offer a potential glimmer of hope for some kind of SnyderVerse revival if this sale were to happen in the future, which should be good news for longtime DCU diehards. Look, if he just did something on Netflix, and he don't even have to put it in theaters, all right? You could do something like, they gave him all that money for Rebel Moon, all right? They gave him all that money for Rebel Moon. There is way more interest in this than there is in Rebel Moon. If Netflix buys the Warner Brothers, I have a feeling that we're going to get at least Justice League Part 2. If not more, but we're absolutely going to get Justice League Part 2 if Netflix buys it. I can't see why they wouldn't. If you give them money for Rebel Moon to make that dog shit and, you know, all the Army of the Dead films and everything, all that stuff, why wouldn't you give him money to say, all right, Zach, you know, how much will it cost you to get the gang back together to throw up the SnyderVerse or the Justice League 2? How much would that cost? You know, and just see what happens. Yeah, and then it says, interestingly, Netflix recently ignited the SnyderVerse return hopes by posting an image of Cavill's return as Superman in Black Adam to celebrate the movie's release on the streamer. Yeah, this is the picture that they're talking about. It was actually on Netflix France. They got 1v1 who wins. Black Adam, it's available. And then, of course, they show, Henry Cavill as Superman, you know, when he returned for, you know, to help promote Black Adam. All right. You know, this is posted on October 20th, so it's a couple of weeks back. But you got to figure, okay, like, why are y'all posting all of this stuff up related to, you know, Zack Snyder's, you know, version? Yeah, I know, you know, Black Adam and all that. But they asked this question, 1 versus 1, who wins? Well, we would like to know. We would like to find out. Hey, why don't you bring him on back? All right? Bring Cavill on back. I'm pretty sure The Rock wouldn't mind. And maybe y'all can get it cracking. Who knows? And maybe Zack Snyder can help with the situation a little bit. You know, it is unknown if Snyder is aware of the behind-the-scenes negotiations for Warner Brothers. I'm pretty sure he's aware. If I'm aware of the negotiations, Zack Snyder is aware. But he could be doing this as some sort of an online campaign to serve as a reminder that he still wants to take a crack at his DC universe and finish hit story, considering that it left unresolved due to DCU's arrival. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's left on a cliffhanger. He left it on a cliffhanger. It's like we want to go back and see how this thing wraps up. There is a way for the DCU and the DCU and the DCEU to coexist. We've been saying this. And SnyderVerse could fall under the Elseworlds category. If Netflix ends up winning the bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, some would argue that there is a real chance that the SnyderVerse could return. I'd say it's going to return. I don't see there's any reason why it shouldn't return. Yeah, so like, hey, you know, James Gunn, you can go over there and do what you're doing. All right, we got Elseworlds. You already got Batman in the Elseworlds situation with Matt Reeves. I don't see any reason why the SnyderVerse had to go in the first place. I see no reason why Superman or Henry Cavill couldn't keep playing Superman. None whatsoever. And, you know, Zack Snyder could have just finished off what he was doing. All right, I'm just going to wrap things up. And then we're just going to move on. You know, we'll finish the Justice League Part 2. We'll do that. You know, maybe Henry Cavill gets a couple of more Superman movies done. You can do whatever you're doing over there, James Gunn. I'm not going to get in your way. And everybody would have been happy. That would have satisfied all peoples. But, you know, it is what it is. Bruh, yeah, I think this thing is going to happen, man. If I had to put money on it, I would put money on it. I think that if Netflix buys Warner Brothers Discovery, I don't see a way that this doesn't happen. Zack Snyder is going to be, what's his name? Ted Sarandon or whatever. He going to be on his phone night and day. Come on, bro. I'm already in-house. I'm in-house talent. You already know what I can do. Okay. And you already know that there is a huge outpouring of support for the SnyderVerse. So let it happen, man. I think Zack Snyder knows what's up. That's why he's posting all of this stuff. All right. That's why Zack Snyder is out here with this little clever smirk on his face. It's just like, hey, what's up, man? What's up? Everybody, hey, Zach, man, what you doing, man? I was like, I ain't doing nothing, just posting some pics. That's it. It's a few pictures, that was in my phone. I just wanted to throw something up on my Instagram. That's all. Yeah, man, but, Netflix is talking about buying, Warner Brothers. Isn't that interesting? Like, oh, isn't that something? Let's see how that goes. I'm not sure what's going on, but, I think Zach knows exactly what he's doing. He's building up the hype. And honestly, man, I'm here for it, man, because I think Henry Cavill got the shaft, and I think he should still be playing Superman, and I would love to see him return and just come into this universe, finish off what he started, ride off into the sunset, and be done. A movie or two here and there is not going to hurt. Again, they already threw all of this bread at Rebel Moon, so you might as well go ahead and let Zack Snyder do this if you buy Warner Brothers Discovery. We'll see what happens, but you guys let me know what y'all think. Is there any chance at all? All right. Is there any chance at all that Zack Snyder can come back and do and finish up his Justice League movies and maybe even a couple of Superman movies on top of it? I would love to see it. Let him do Red Sun, Throw some other shit up there, man. Like Superman, Henry Cavill is a match made in heaven. It's a perfect casting. I just want to see him get it at, man. I just want to see him do it. I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.